Sawubona Mzansi. Thank you and welcome to the MIH Live this evening. So, a recap from yesterday's live. Yesterday's live, we kicked off the process of designing new icons for the icon or for the new MIH icon packs. If you've seen the video today, you saw that we made some good progress during the day and we are almost done. And I'm getting a vibe. I put a poll out and I'm getting the vibe that people are happy with what the icons are looking like now. Because I think that the poll previously, when I was asking, should you leave the rings or should we leave the rings or should we add the rings in? And people were saying, oh, it was very 50-50 split in my mind. But now after adding the rings all over, I think 100% of people are happy with it. I think there was maybe one person that said no. Sawubona German Cyber. Nice, Sawubona. Yes, so the recap, the designs are looking good and great progress during the day, and it looks like everyone is happy. So, what's on the agenda for today? So, in today's live, what we're going to do is we'll go over the designs are good. Thank you so much. And thank you so much yesterday for the feedback. I really appreciate it. It's because I feel like we are happy with the designs of them because we worked on it together. It wasn't me working on it alone, giving it back to you. Thank you so much, Jaman. Really appreciate it. Jaman is saying app looking excellent. Thank you so much. So this is why I started the lives. I wanted to work on MIH together with the people of Mzansi, with the people that are using MIH, so that it's not only me that's happy with the application. It's all of us, everyone that uses it, everyone that believes in the vision of MIH. Will have a say in how MIH looks, how it feels, how it functions, all of those kind of things. So thank you so much for your feedback. Please continue coming with comments, with suggestions, everything. I appreciate all of it. I know I'm not working at a super fast pace now, but there's multiple things happening at the same time, so just bear in mind. Let's bear in mind. So, the agenda for today. We can quickly go over MIH version 1.1.5. For those that haven't downloaded it yet, please do it now. It's available as we speak. And it comes with, let's flip the camera over and flip this over. And I'll show you what it's all looking like. So, we're on the Google page, or the, what's it called? The Google Play Store page right now. And we're just gonna have a quick look at the new features that are available for us, right? So if we look at the new features of MIH in this week, we have 10 new cards that are available, but these 10 new cards, I think there are about maybe 2 or 3 that are applicable in South Africa, but the rest of them are applicable outside of South Africa, like in Botswana, in Namibia, in Egypt, in Angola. So it's across Africa that the Mzansi wallet can work, right? We also added the peak animation. Guys, let me know what you think of the new peak animation. If you have version 1.1.5, Mzansi, leave a chat. Let me know what you feel of the peak animation. Do you think it will guide new users on giving them the ability to swipe over? Does it let them know that, okay, I can swipe over in this package, right? So that's the peak animation. The next one is 3 quality of life improvements. That quality of life improvements is the new card designs in the Mzansi wallet. So let's see. So I'm just opening up MIH on my laptop now. Then you can see the new designs. So here's the new designs over here, guys. So you can see they're a lot cleaner, a lot sleeker, not looking like the normal cards the normal physical cards that we see. It's just their logo and a color. It looks a little bit more sleeker and also easier for me to manage and maintain. Next, we have the new social links. So let me try and, yeah, I'll do this. It'll be a little bit, let me do this, move this over. Yeah. So if we go to the About MIH tile, the About MIH tile, you'll see the version. And if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see that we've added Twitch and we've added Kick. So if you don't really prefer watching live streams on TikTok, you prefer watching it on like a TV like YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you can find us here. You can just click on the link. It should navigate you right over. So if I click on it now, you'll see that this is the live. So you see we're right there. But I will close that. So that was the second quality of life improvement. And then the third quality of life improvement was just adding a floating menu button in the patient manager, in the waiting room specifically. So if we go over to our business side of MIH, and if we go to the patient manager, you'll see at the bottom of the screen there is a, what's this, floating menu. So we can click on it to add a new appointment, right? That's what was added. And then the two bugs that were fixed. The two bugs were a context window. So the pop-up windows that appear, if the text goes or is too long and it increases or it gets, if it's too long, then it won't fit in that window anymore, and then it'll start bleeding over the window, which is not the behavior that we want. We want it to be scrollable. So we've added that fix in, and that should be fixed right now in version 1.1.5. The next one is the bottom chin, specifically in the iOS version of MIH. So it has to do with how iOS deals with certain elements in the code and stuff. So we've learned how to deal with that, and we remove that bottom chin, and now there should be a more streamlined, or more, not streamlined, what's the word? There should be a more aligned approach between the iOS version, Android version, and the PWA or the web version of MIH. Right, so that's what's new in MIH. Make sure to download it now. I just had a look at the stats, and I think it was about 60 people or so that downloaded it at the moment. Thank you so much to those 60 people. Appreciate it. So next on our list, what we're going to do is I want to show you how exactly I made those icons, and how exactly, like, the entire process from end to end. So yesterday we were just looking at the icons, getting a feel of how the icons are supposed to get done. But what I want to do today is show you exactly how to create those icons. So what we will do is I'll open up things on my side. I'll open things up on my side. Recent. Sorry, give me 1 second. I don't remember where I put the stuff. Oh, there's it over here. Icon, frame, doc. Yeah, I have it up here. So let's flip it. This didn't save, but that's okay. That's okay. So if we go to our icons, let's add the frame in. So this is the actual frame that we're supposed to use over here. Let's minimize everything. So this is the actual frame that we were supposed to use. If you look at the difference between this one and this one, you'll see that there's a line, a random line that's over here. I'm not sure exactly where that came from. Oh, sorry, the people on thingy can't see. So I'm not sure exactly where that came from, where that line came from, but I used the original one that we were using from way back. So this is it, right? So I have the ring there, and we'll choose one of our tools. Let's say the downloads, opening the tab. Let's do this one. Right, so I use this for when you're first setting up a business profile, right? So the first thing that I would do is resize it to make sure that it fits our vibe, or fits what we are looking at. So I'll just use another icon that I used previously as a guideline for me. So I'll minimize this, so maybe it should come up here, and minimize this. Over here, we'll transform it, so we'll set the size of it, and I'll just remove the wallet. Alright, so you'll see that this is our icon now. And yeah, this is our icon. The next thing that I would do to this is I would align it. So I've been aligning things center. You would click on it, you'll see there's squares that are available. On TikTok, you can't really see it that properly, but on the rest of the platforms, you can see it. So I would just align that center. There's some tools on the side for that. So now it's perfectly center on our side, right? All I have to do is go to File, Export As. So I'll bring that close. So we'll export it as, let's just say test.png, right? And we'll put this in our desktop. Export. Right. So now what we've done is basically created a PNG of our icon, right? So here's it over here. So this is the PNG of our icon, but what you'll notice is you'll see that there's some jagged lines and stuff on it, right? And if we were to take this and put it inside MIH, it won't be as crispy as we would like it, right? So in order to change this, to make it a little bit more smooth and more crispier, what we'll have to do is we're going to use Inkscape, right? So Inkscape, if I go back, Inkscape is, so this tool that I'm on right now is called GIMP. You can see on the, I'll open up the web page for you, but this is called GIMP. GIMP is a free alternative to Photoshop, right? So if you don't have the money to buy the full Photoshop package, this will take you 90% or let's say 80 to 90% of the way of what you need to do, but probably 100% of what you want to do right now, right? Quick things. So that's what we use to create our PNG image, right? So after using the GIMP tool to create our PNG image, now we're going to convert it to an SVG, which is a scalar vector format, something like that. So basically those jagged lines won't be there anymore. So in order to do that, Inkscape. If we just Google Inkscape, we'll go to the website inkscape.org. So this is also a free tool. It's free and open source. That basically means the community of people that like using the application, they contribute to making the application better, right? So you can download it right now. It's available on, I think, almost every platform. So you can see there's Linux, the platform that I use. There's Windows, Mac OS, and then you can even have the source code yourself to do whatever you want to do with it. So we're going to use this tool over here to create our SVG image. So what we'll do is File, Open. So we'll just open up that SVG or that PNG image that we just created. So you can see here's test. So this is our image that we created. If we click on OK, and then there's just a pop-up on the top. I'll just move it to the center for everyone. I'll move it to the center so everyone can see. So we have this pop-up. It's basically saying, do you like the settings? I normally keep my settings default, right? Let's try zoom out. So you'll see also over here, it's kind of blurry. It's jagged edges. So what we're doing is removing those, right? So let's zoom out a little bit. So also another thing that I want to mention before we move on with this. So all these steps, I didn't just think of them myself. I didn't struggle on my own. All I did was I went to Gemini. I gave it an example of the PNG that I have. And then I gave it the prompt. I would like to create a custom icon font, which is what we created. It's called a TTF file, .ttf file, to be used in my Flutter application. So Flutter is the tool that I use to create the front end instead of React. I have a PNG transparent black images. See example provided. Can you please give me detailed steps on how to convert it to an SVG using Inkscape? So I gave it the tool that I want to use, and then give instructions on how to create the TTF file, right? So I gave it all of this, and I just used these steps that it provided me, and that's what I used to see. That's what I used to create the image. So you can see the first step is to convert it from PNG to SVG. Step 2 is creating the TTF file, right? So if you're having any trouble with anything, just ask Gemini. Give it as much details as possible in the beginning, in your first message. Then it can provide you with a more accurate answer. So step 1, download and install Inkscape. So we have that on our computer. Open up Inkscape, it's opened. Then file import. So I followed the steps on the screen over here. And that's how I created the TTF file. So let's go back to Inkscape. We have our image available for us. Then what we have to do is we'll then click on the image. So we can't click on an empty space. We'll have to click on one of the black areas. If we click on that, you'll see arrows appear. All of this details was given by Gemini. It says click on the image. You'll see arrows appear. You know it was selected. Once it was there, you click on path, and then trace. There's it over there. It's trace bitmap. So you go to path, trace bitmap. Right. Once you do that, you'll see that something appears on the side of the screen, on the right hand side of the screen. So on the right hand side of the screen, this is where we configure the bitmap or the path, whatever it's called, and just to make sure that it's the right configuration for our image, our particular image, right? So from my testing today, I've come to the conclusion that I don't need to change any settings. The things that, all the default settings are fine for the type of image that I have, right? So also I did ask Gemini what's the correct settings, and for the type of image it said everything is default, and it is accurate and it does work. So I have the settings as default. I'll click on apply. After clicking on apply, you'll see it disappears, and you'll see our image is slightly better. So I'll zoom in for you again. Sorry. I'll zoom in. You can see it's slightly better, but it's still jagged. So what we have to do is, it already created a bitmap for us, and now it's called a path. So if we look on the top over here, you'll see that under our image, or the layers of this object or this image, we have a path and we have the image. The image is the original image that we had. The path is something that we just created now. So if we have a look at our image, so I'll zoom out so it'll be more clear for you, hopefully. Or I'll zoom super in, and then you'll see how it'll change when I remove it. So if we're having a look at the edges now, do you see how it clears up? So that's the reason why we created a SVG image instead of using the PNG. We created an SVG in order to create our icon packs, just to get the smoothest image as possible. And because an icon pack, it basically works like a font, and fonts can be scaled up to whatever size. So you need something to be dynamically scalable, and the resolution is not going to change or get pixelated and stuff. So that's why we have it. So I'll just remove that image from the side, and you'll see how crispy and clean the image looks now. Our new icon looks, right? So that was step one. So I created all of my SVG images and made them crispy looking like this one. Now that we have this, we just have to save it. So if we click on file, we'll go to save as. So I'll just change the extension to SVG, and then I'll change the extension at the bottom to SVG also. Plain SVG, not Inkscape SVG. Plain SVG. Click on save, and then it should have saved for us. So I'll just open that up for you now. So you can see I even double click the image that was here, and I double click the SVG. So you can see we have our PNG image and we have our SVG. If I double click this, it automatically opens it with Inkscape. So it means we are on the correct, or we've done the correct thing, right? So step one of how to create an icon pack is done. All right. Next thing that we'll have to do is creating the actual TTF file. Right. So this is step two, creating the TTF file. And because there's brilliant tools out there, we don't have to struggle on our own. People made tools that are free to use, right? So it's called iCoMoon. So we'll give it some time to load. Let's see if I'm signed in, but it's called iCoMoon. So let's go home. And so this is the application that I use to create the icon packs. So all you have to do is click on iCoMoon. It'll take you to this page over here. You can already see my images are already loaded because I saved this as a project. But my images are loaded. All I have to do is click on generate, which is at the bottom of the screen. click on generate, it'll show me all my images or all my icons that I want to create. I just have to click on download. After clicking on download, it creates a zip file for you with all the information. So if we go to downloads, and I think this one is it. Were we on number 5? Yeah. So this one is it. So if we have a look at this, it comes with so if we go to fonts, we have the TTF file, which is our icon. So you can take this and put it inside our project. Then if we go back, we have the styles, which is also important. This gives you more details about the image that you'll have to use in the application yourself. So it gives you I feel like this is something like an ID, something similar to an ID that we use in the application to know that we're talking about the I don't know image or the business step setup image. So we created that. Then if we look at Gemini's steps, so what I showed you now was basically adding your files to this iCoMoon, creating your icon pack, downloading it. So we've done all of that. So if we look at that, import our SVG files, that's just uploaded there. Select the image that you want in the font, generate the font. So that's what we did, we downloaded it. And yeah, download the pack, extract the zip. And yeah, now they're telling us step 3 is to use the icon pack in our code, all right? So this is the pub spec file. So this is all the dependencies and stuff of the file. So it gave me the code of, okay, I just need to add this here in the pub spec file. And then it said I need to create a dot file for my icon packs, for my custom icon pack, and then add the code over there. So it did give me some code. I was a little bit lazy to type everything out, so I gave it that styles sheet because it needed to create these, or this line over here. It needed to create a line like this. And I need to put the correct codes over here for each and every icon. I was a little bit lazy to do that, so what I did was I gave Gemini the CSS file that has all the codes into it. I gave it my code file also for the icon packs, only the icon pack. And I told it, please modify mine based on these codes, right? Based on the new icon pack. And then it gave me the code over here. You see, it gave me the code with everything inside. You can see there's access control, business profile. So everything that we had, right? So that's how I was sorting out the icon packs. And then I want to, let me move this over. So is there any questions on how to create this icon packs? I can create like a full tutorial video for you if you're interested in that, but if you're not interested and you're not really in the mood for such a thing, then I won't make the video for you. Sorry, I'm just opening up the emulator now, then we can have a look at MIH and the new icons, how they're looking, and we'll just have some questions going. So it's opening up on the side over here. I'll bring it to the center. Fingerprint. Cool. Let's minimize this and minimize this. So they're gonna show the steps. So let me start up. Sorry, there was load shedding, so my computer shut down. So everything that was up and running, it did stop. So even the server in the background, the MIH server that I was speaking about. So I have a dev one running, or a local one running on this machine. So I'll just get that up and running. But in the meantime, you guys can look at me struggle for a bit. Just so you don't have, and if you have any questions, let me know. Let me just scroll through to see if there are any questions. Cool. And I will come back here, allow this. So the MIH dev server is now starting up. It shouldn't take too long, I hope. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long because we just had it running not too long ago. But in the meantime, I will start up the Android version of MIH. So yeah, I really like the design of the icons, what they're looking like now. So I was chatting to one of the members of Mzansi, and they told me that I should consider removing that border around the actual tiles and stuff. I'm not sure if you noticed that in the video, but we'll have a look at it now soon, and we'll see if, and I'll get your thoughts on it. Do you like it without the border? Do you like it with the border? The server should be up and running soon. I'll just give it some time. Yeah, it's on the final steps now. So what we're doing now is we're just starting up the dev MIH server. So it's nothing fancy. It's just one line of code that we run. Because I told you we use Docker as the technology to start everything up and create whatever we need. So it's extremely simple for us to start up the server. It's just one line it's one terminal line or one terminal script that I would run. And it starting up different containers for different aspects of the application. So it should be fine if I do this. Let's see. Nice. Let's switch over for you, and let's switch over for them. Cool. So this is the new MIH home screen, right? It's not the final MIH home screen. It's just the new one for now because we're working on the new icons. But let me know what you think. Are they cool? Do you like them? They're both on the business and the personal side. And from the feedback that we got from Gemini, right? If we have a look at the icons, I'm going to put a poll up in one of the chats. Let me put one up on TikTok now. Let me put one up on TikTok. So the poll is, do you like it? Yes or no? So smiley face or crying face, you can let me know. And I'll put it on YouTube also and the other platforms. So do you like it? I just want to get the feeling of the people on the live right now. Do you like the icons? Right. So let me know. Do you like the icons? Is it something that looks better than before? So what I was thinking before is having I'm not sure how I was thinking about it, but have a circle or have this icon inside a circle that is this light bluish color, and then have the icon itself a dark color. But I was looking at it while I was coding, and it didn't look too nice. It wasn't looking too nice to me, so I opted for just removing it. Removing it itself. Yeah, so I just opted to remove that background or the circle around it and just keep the icon plain with the text below it. So what you like? The feedback from Gemini, or we can ask Gemini, we can go back to that chat that we had for UI stuff. UI UX explained. Nice. So this is the chat that we had with Gemini. So after the feedback that it gave us, which was this huge feedback, we've made some improvements. So what we can do live today, I haven't done this before, is we can take another screenshot and we can ask Gemini to give us feedback post Gemini's feedback and post us changing it. Copy image. So I'll paste it in. We'll let it load. And I'll say I had a look at your feedback. I had a look at your feedback, and it was very insightful. We tried to tackle the icons first. Let me know what you think of the change. Alright, and let's see what Gemini has to say. So hopefully good feedback, but even if it's not good feedback, I don't mind that, because it's okay. It'll come back with feedback, and yeah, it'll come back with feedback, and it'll come back with feedback, and we'll just use that as a guide going forward. So let's listen to it. Let me know on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick if you're able to hear Gemini speak. But I'll press play now. It's thinking. So sorry, it's still thinking.
That's great to hear you found the feedback insightful and have already made changes. Let's take a look at the updated home screen, focusing on the icons. Review of the icon changes. You've made a significant change by adopting a consistent style for almost all the icons. They now primarily use a light outline style within the same rounded square shape, mostly enclosed in that distinctive wavy, bordered circle. Consistency. This is a big improvement. By making the icons consistent in style and container shape, the interface feels much more unified and polished. This directly addresses the previous suggestion about inconsistent icon styles. Clarity. The icons for MZansi Profile, MZansi Wallet, Calendar, and Calculator maintain good clarity and are easily recognizable within their new consistent style. The MZansi AI Llama icon is still unique, but within the consistent styling, it fits in better visually. Its meaning will still rely on user familiarity with what MZansi AI represents in your application. The patient profile icon has changed from a calendar with plus or minus to an icon that includes a person, a medical cross, star of life, and some form elements. This new icon seems more directly related to a patient profile and is a good change for clarity. The bottom two icons, which I can now see are security or access and information, also adopt the new consistent style and container, improving the overall look. The security icon, lock and person, is clearer than a simple checkmark for that purpose, assuming it is indeed a security or access related function. Overall impression of icon changes. The change to a consistent icon style significantly enhances the user interface. It makes the screen look more professional and organized.
The overall impression of icon change. Sorry, I spaced out for, but what is it saying? Let's play it again.
The improved patient profile icon is a good step towards better clarity. Further suggestions based on this new version and previous feedback. 1. Address the cutoff labels. While the icons themselves are better, the labels for the bottom two icons are still cut off. This is a crucial UX issue, as the user cannot fully understand what these options are. Ensure that all text labels are fully visible. This might require adjusting padding, font size, or the overall layout slightly, especially for smaller screens. 2. Review contrast again. While the consistent icons are good, double-check the contrast of the light blue, grey icons and text against the dark background to ensure optimal readability for all users and in various lighting conditions. 3. Refine unique icons, if needed. If user testing reveals confusion around the MZansi AI Llama icon or its purpose, consider if there's an alternative icon that could be more immediately understandable within the context of AI, while still retaining some branding element if desired. However, if MZansi AI is a distinct and well-known feature to your users, the current icon might be perfectly acceptable. 4. Purpose of header icons. Reiterate your consideration of the generic user and briefcase icons in the header in relation to the MZansi Profile and MZansi Wallet icons in the main grid. Ensure their functions are distinct, or consider if the header could be simplified. You've made excellent progress on the icons. Addressing the cutoff labels should be a priority for improving usability. Keep
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So what I think is good progress was made. The thing about the stuff being cut off, that's a non-issue because you scroll up for that. Jay, I saw your message now. I'll respond to it. Uh, yeah, so I think Gemini is happy with it. I think the next step is the what they were speaking about, the contrast. I also forgot about the headers. So I'm gonna make a note of the headers. So icon in header. I was so focused on the main page that I completely forgot about the header section. So the icon and then the contrast of color. Contrast of color. So that's the two next things that we have to work out. Yeah, the two next things that we have to work out. Sorry, the question from Jay over on TikTok was, what did I use to emulate MIH? So it's just the standard Android emulator. Let me flip my screen for you. The standard Android emulator. So I'm using on my phone this Android. Sorry, let me flip that over. So this Android emulator over here, it comes standard with Android Studio. So if you want an Android emulator on your phone, Android Studio is there. It's basically supposed to be an easy way for you to develop for applications, specifically for Android if you're using Android Studio. But I don't use that, but it comes with that tool, right? So I use VS Code. Hope that answers your question, Jay. So it's a full-on phone. So everything over there is available. We have our settings, the Play Store, everything that we could think of. And we also have MIH over there because I'm coding with it. So that's it over here. Yeah, so that's what I'm using. Another thing that we need to address that I think I should show you, it should be over here. Let's go in. So we spoke briefly about it earlier. Let's go back to Chrome and flat icons, right? So yesterday and the icons, majority of the icons that we used, or all of the icons that we used, comes from flat icons, right? So flat icons is a place where a repository of icons. So all you have to do is search for a specific topic that you want. So we can search for test. We can search test. And then we can see what test things are available for us. So you can see all these icons that are available over here. It's free for us to download and use and utilize in PNG format, right? That's why it was important. So what we could do is we'll click on our icon that we want. We can download it, but when you download it, they show you this attribution required. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. Required. And if we click on the I, you'll see that if they're basically saying that if we want to use these icons or if we want to use them for free, we have to tell our users who are the people that created this. We can't just steal from them, because if we just take it and put it in our application, sorry Jay, I see there's another message over here. Can you emulate iOS as well? So we can emulate iOS. I will show you that now. So there is an iOS emulator, but the problem with the iOS emulator is that you have to have Apple software and Apple hardware. So I had to buy a MacBook, or not a MacBook, a Mac Mini. So you can see I have a Mac Mini over here. People on TikTok, I have a Mac Mini. So I had to buy this Mac Mini in order for me to get an emulator on my laptop or on my computer, and then I could develop for MIH and test everything out. So it is available over here, but it's just a high barrier to entry. So you have to have their hardware. And plus having an emulator, it chows a lot of resources. So you have to have a capable machine also to have everything else running. So your Google, your videos, your actual device, a whole server running inside the machine. So you have to have enough resources available inside the machine in order for things to work smoothly. So we do have MIH over here. I can run it for you. So I'll stop it in the what's this thing? In the Android version. I'll start it up over here. And it should be the exact same process unless there's bugs over here. It should be the exact same process. It'll just open up the MIH app for us. What was I speaking about? Yes. So while we have that loading, so yes, I was speaking about the flat icons. So the icons that we used is from flat icons, and other people, if we click on web, you'll see that the person that created this, let's copy this and I'll paste it over here. So I'll paste it here. If we have a look at this thing, you can see that this specific icon was created by FreePick, right? So I can't just take their property and pass it off as my own, right? So the one thing that we have to do is we have to mention that it was created by X or created by Y and link back to flat icons, so that if you are a user of MIH and you see this icon under this attribution section, I'll show you what I'm thinking about, then the person can click on it. After clicking on it, it'll take them directly through two flat icons, and they can start the journey of using these icons also, right? So it's very important. We shouldn't miss this out. I don't want to get into any trouble for this, and I also don't want to steal people's work. So that's what we're going to work on next. So there is some time left. Yeah, there's plenty-ish of time left for this. So we can open up our emulator. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, it's still because I haven't used the iOS one in a while, so it's still building and creating all those other things in the background. But we have it open over here, and if I go to features, ID, enroll it for Face ID, and it's still running. Sorry, I'll bring this over so you can see on the side. It's still building now. It's connecting. It's doing all the things. It's going to do nonsense now because I need to change something on my side over here. So give me one more second. So package close, theme close. Yep. Sorry, I'll explain what the issue is or was over here. So let me reload it. Yeah. So now it's asking for Face ID. So I'll click on this and then I will submit Face ID, and we're in. So sorry, I was also playing around with MIH to see if if I can have multiple things over here. But yeah, so it's running on MIH. So what I was thinking for the attributions, I think that's what it's called. So if we open this up again, over here, where is that? Yeah. If we open it up again, so here's it over here. So what I was thinking of inside our about MIH section. So let me leave a comment to let me know what you think about this. So in our MIH or about MIH package, if we click on this, it takes us over to the what is MIH all about, some information about us, the privacy policy, the terms of service. But what I also wanted to have is that like an attribution thing on the side over here, so that a user can click on it and see what it's all about. Do you guys think that's a good idea? Yes or no? Or should we have it somewhere else? Should it be its own package on the side just for shouting out flat icons and all the people that created it? Or should it be one of the tools in our About MIH package? Because I feel like it is about MIH. It's what we used. So don't worry about this errors over here. It's how, and the Android emulator and the iOS emulator, they are different when you're trying to look at or connect to localhost. So because I code normally for not iOS, for Android, I prefer using that one. So I'll stop this. I'll switch back to the Android emulator. And then I'll run it. There won't be any errors. Hopefully there's no errors. Yeah. So let me know, what do you think? So I think one of those tools in the About section is fine. Yeah, I agree with you. So Jay is saying over on TikTok that one of the tools in the About section is fine because it's not really a main heading or a main feature of MIH. Sorry, this is what happens when it doesn't connect to the server. It gives you that error. So what we'll have to do is I'll have to change it on my side. Undo, yeah. Undo. No, I think it's not undoing. But that's okay. We'll run it, we'll reload it. And it should take us, to the fingerprint. Yep, and we're in. Yeah, so we are in. Let's see what's the best way for us to do this. I think if I put it, oh yes, I wanted to show you this Excel spreadsheet before we move on. So here's all the icons. So also guys, this is another tool that I use if you don't want to use Microsoft and you hate their tools and their technologies. Did I close this? No, I didn't close it. It's minimized. So if you want to use that tool, if you don't have money for Microsoft Office and Office 365, all you have to do is search for WPS Office. Click on OK. It's basically the exact same thing. So WPS Office, I'll open it up. If we go to their technology, AI-powered Office Suite, right? Free to use, no. Basically 90% of everything is there for us to use. So that's the tool I was using over here for this. I'm not using Office, I'm using Bing. You can see if I click on new, we have documents. There's also templates, so it's quite cool, this tool. So there's documents, spreadsheets, presentations, PDF. So it's basically like Office 365 for people that don't want to spend money. So let me insert something here. I can expand this over to here. Yeah, now the people on TikTok can see also. And I'll just zoom in a bit. Yeah. So this is what we have to do. So I have to show this inside MIH somewhere, right? So what I was thinking is I don't want to use these exact, or should I use these exact ones? That's what I'm thinking about, whether I should use these exact icons over here or just show the MIH icons and link them to these ones. I'm thinking just link it. But yeah, this is the list of icons that we used. I think there's two more that didn't save because it's my fault. It's profile set up. Not my fault, it's because of load shedding. Alright. Load shedding happened, I didn't save, and it got rid of those things for me. Yo, I have to find the link for those ones, but I'll just type it down. I won't find it now. So business set up. And we have the business setup over here. You're so tiny. Embed. Yeah, so we'll have to find these two links over here because load shedding happened. But these are the icons that we use. Then you can see exactly which package uses what. So this is the wallet, the profile. This is so these two we combined it to create the profile. Then we have the calendar, the calculator, the about MIH, access control, which is the MIH access, business profile. So there was two ones for business profile. That's another question that I had. So these two, I'll highlight them for you. So these two over here are business profile. I think inside MIH right now we used the guy with the briefcase and the tie. But so it's a choice between either one of these two. Let me know which one in the comments. The top or the bottom. Office.com is free to use online. So it is free to use online, Jay, but I feel like I'm always missing some features when I'm using that free online version. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I'm always in trouble. Or when if someone sends me a document and I try and open it in the free version, it doesn't want to do things like that. So I gave up on them. I no longer use any of their tools other than the email, which is Outlook for business stuff. Other than that, I don't use any of their technology. So I don't use Windows anymore. I don't use Office because it was just such a hassle using their technologies. Yes, there is a downside to the online free version. Exactly. So instead of having that downside, why not just get 90% of what I need with WPS Office? It's a little bit harder, or not harder to learn, but the learning curve is there in the beginning. But once you like spend one day or use or create one document on it, you're good to go. Everything is very familiar feeling. So that's why we use this tool. So yes, the question was between these two icons. So number one is at the top, number two is at the bottom. Let me know in the chats. You can just type one or two, or top or bottom, whichever one you want, top or bottom. Which one do you think should be for business profile? Should it be number one, number two, top or bottom? I chose bottom because I feel like the top didn't really show that it was a business. It just felt like I was looking at people standing in front of a building, right? Whereas this one, there's a man with a tie and a briefcase in front of a tall building. So I can assume that man's a corporate man, a corporate guy. So more related to business. I think about business more. So I went with this one. Patient manager. I think the patient manager is also a good. Two looks like he's into business. Exactly. Two does look like he's into business. So I think number two is better. The patient manager, I think this one is perfect. This one is the perfect icon to find for the patient manager because it shows you exactly what's it about. It's a doctor sitting by his desk speaking to a patient, right? Lots of pluses all over to show you that it's medical related. Yes, so I see there's only 5 minutes left. So what I will do is tomorrow during the day, I will add that attribution section at the end of the about MIH page. Just at the top, I'll make a section over there, and yeah, I'll do that. And then remember, let's go back. I think I turned it off. I'll turn it back on now. Let's go to personal. Right, remember guys, we are doing maintenance tomorrow, Thursday, the 15th of May at 10 p.m. Right, Central African time, of course, because there are quite a bit of users outside of South Africa. So just so that you know, Maintenance will be done tomorrow evening, 10 p.m. So what we are doing is we are migrating over from our old MIH server to the new MIH server that we've been working on during our lives, right? So there will be a maintenance break because we have to transfer things over. And just in case there's any issues, if there's any issues, then at least our users are aware. It's not them saying that MIH is trash. So we are trying to get our users aware that we are doing maintenance. But on Friday, if everything goes well, I'll post some videos about it during, like before I switch over while I'm done with it. The only problem that I'm seeing is what if there's issues? That's a little bit scary, but I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. So I'll post a video before it's happening, just to make sure that everyone is aware that MIH is going to be down for a bit. I'll post a video after, making sure that you are aware that it's up and running again, and I'll post a video if there's any issues and if I have to continue working on it on Friday. But if I do, or if there's more issues, I will let you know. I won't leave you behind. I'll make sure that you are aware of everything. Yeah, so the maintenance, the server, then I think that's all for today. Let me flip this over. Yeah, so maintenance will be happening tomorrow. Everything will be fine. I will work on the attributions tomorrow. I'll get them sorted. And then I feel like from next week, it's going to be a completely whole different MIH because we're using this new server. So sorry, there's something that popped up on TikTok. Oh my word. It's one of those puzzles to check if I'm a human, sorry. So yeah, I feel like next week things are going to be completely different because we have a new server, we have new capabilities. You can see that we can now focus more on the UX and UI and redesign. I just spoke to someone that I'm happy with working with, and I think we're going to start moving. There's going to be more features. Jay, I'll go through your list that you sent me previously and I'll see what else was over there and see what we can bring forward if we have the time. But I think what we're going to focus on next after the MIH server is up and running is focus on UI and UX of the home screen, the home package, and we can see from there, start adding on new tools, more bug fixes, everything else like that. But cool. Thank you so much everyone for joining the live this evening. I really appreciate it. We'll continue tomorrow and we'll see what we do tomorrow. I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure it'll be a good time. Things will be good. Thank you so much and let's keep working hard, Mzansi.